Welcome to the ultimate backstage pass, the pulsating heart of the high school sports universe. Get ready to rock with the gang from the Corner to Corner podcast as they take their sports obsessions to new heights. Meet the dream team, Sean Kiper, Adam Muncy, Wes Crouch, and Daron Stevens, as they unpack the secrets, emotions, and triumphs that light up our local sports heroes. Whether you're gearing up for a game or unleashing cheers from the stands, get ready for an exclusive scoop that'll knock your socks off. It's showtime.
From the corner to the corner, we bring the heat. High school pride, we're repping every street. Sean, Wes, Adam, Daron on the beat. Downtown Mount Sterling, where the fans all meet. From the corner to the corner, we bring the heat.
Episode 362, Corner to Corner. Thank you, Community Trust Bank. We'll do the week that was. Biggest highlights of the week from soccer. GRC boys were 2-1. Moco girls 1-0-1. Moco boys 1-0. And then Menifee both had good weeks. 1-0-1 for the girls, 2-1 for the boys. Football, week 5, Bath County was on a bye. Montgomery County lost to Estill County at Estill County. Now 1-4 on the season. And then GRC lost to St. Francis de Sales from Ohio. Close game there. Ryan Day's son plays quarterback for DeSales, and he was the game deciding factor. And come the fourth quarter, he threw a couple big touchdown passes. So that moves the GRC to 3-2 on the season. Girls golf, Moco girls won regionals today. So now they move on to state. That's their second year in a row that they've won regionals. And then Bath County girls, Juliana Moore, qualified for state for them on the individual side, and it is believed to be, from our sources, the first person to qualify for state from Bath County golf. So congratulations to Juliana for that. Pretty big feat for them. They were on the show a couple weeks ago. It's their first season of golf since 2019. So pretty cool deal. In their first season, they get somebody to go to state. And it wasn't like she just got in. She finished 6th on the individual side. So that's pretty cool. And in case you don't know, anybody that moves on to state via the team, they all get to go to state anyways. This is the top 10 non-team qualifiers. So their teams didn't make it to state, but individually they did make it to state. So congratulations to Juliana there on that. Volleyball, Bath was 0-2 on the week. GRC was 4-3. It's like they played every day this week. So literally, I had looked at it twice. They really played 7 games this week. They're now 15-5 on the season. They're really good. Menifee was 1-1. They beat Bath County in a rivalry game there. And then Montgomery County was 2-0 on the week. They're now 9-7. Both of those were district wins over Bourbon and Paris County. We called the Paris County. It's stuck in my head now. That's what we've called it for a month now. So both of those were great games on that part of it. So jam-packed show. We've got Coach Jason Mays here, along with a couple of new members of his staff. We've got Tanner Glancy, Michael Jones, and then, of course, Neil Terry, who was with him last year. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, thank some of our sponsors, and we'll be right back with Coach Mays and his staff.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to have the driveway shoveled. His part of the big lunch meeting and the birthday gift for the niece that was due yesterday. That means Anthony made it on time to watch the big game and see the home team score the winning shot. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
At Rumpke Waste and Recycling, family is at the heart of all we do. Our name is on every truck, every container, every facility. And we take pride in what our family name represents. Friendly, reliable service. Families trust us. Businesses trust us. Communities trust us. And you can too. Learn more about our family business and the important work we do at rumpke.com. Rumpke, waste and recycling done right.
I was going to say, Neil, it's on you. All right. Welcome back. We got Coach Mays here. He's a friend of the show, been here several times with us. Coach, thanks for coming back on, spending some time with us, showing us some love. As always, we coming off a great year last year, excited to be kicking into this year. And, success breeds success, right? So, we lost Felix and a couple of the other coaches, spurred off too, or was he the only one we lost?
No, we had our two full-time assistants last year were Neil and Felix Wilson. We were fortunate enough to retain Neil. If Neil wants to go somewhere, we'll let him go as long as he leaves his children here. And Felix is an assistant coach at Marshalltown Community College in Marshalltown, Iowa. They play a national junior college schedule, and it's different because he's a college coach now. He's recruiting kids that, for one reason or another, doesn't always have to be academics, need to go to a junior college before they go to a 4-year school. I coached a year junior college myself many moons ago, and Coach Jones actually played a year or two of junior college for a great coach. And once you do it, it becomes a part of who you are, because there's nothing easy about JUCO. Nothing easy. And if you don't have a team full of dogs, you won't be successful. And so he's going to be learning a lot of basketball. He's going to be learning how to deal with a lot of different personalities, and it'll be good for him. He's definitely going to grow. We miss him, but we obviously had to move on, and we did so, I think, and put together our greatest staff to date. You said success breeds success. It's only going to be as successful as the people that you have involved in your environment.
Right.
And so, I appreciate you guys inviting us on to allow me to introduce our staff and just tell you about, aspects of our program that we're going through right now.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Michael played for JUCO, so tell us a little bit about Michael, and then we can. So
Michael Jones, sitting here next to me. Michael was the interim head coach last year at Dunbar.
Okay.
And he played at Dunbar, but he's coached at Henry Clay, and he is one of the top basketball coaches at the high school level right now. He is one of our 3 top assistants. All 3 have been head coaches. Michael Jones has worked with Kobe. He's worked with Steve Nash. He's worked with KD. There's probably some other guys that I'm leaving out, and he can fill in the gaps.
I mean, once you say Kobe, you can't get much higher than that. So
he's been an on the floor instructor at the NBA Top 100 and Nike Skills Academy, or it's either the Nike Top 100 NBA Skills Academy. I get them confused. But you can't be a bum and do that. And so his ability, he's entrepreneurial. He owns several gyms. He is a great strength coach. He's a boxing coach. So he touches all parts of our program in a genuine and impactful way. The part I haven't gotten to know him in is actually the X and O's part, because we've been spending so much time doing other things. But I can't wait for you to talk to him. We also hired a very smart young man that I'm excited about his future, and Tanner Glancy. Tanner was the interim head coach at West Carter last year, and he's played at West Carter. He's been very loyal to West Carter, and has paid his dues. And I remember one year they should have beat us when I was at Ashland in the regional semifinals. It took a last-second shot for us to win the game. So I love his brain. I love his attention to detail. And so we have our 2 new guys have both been interim head coaches. Well, I've been an interim head coach too at Kentucky Wesleyan. The thing about being an interim head coach is you want to go back, and if you don't get to retain that job, you want to go back and be a head coach again.
Yeah.
So there's a hunger there. And I think both these guys eventually will lead their own programs, probably sooner than later. They're both very high character people, and they have a I get it factor that is often hard to find. And the reason they have that is because they've been in the end seat calling timeouts, so they've had to make those hard decisions that oftentimes seem popular or can be unpopular, so they can understand what goes through my head. And then obviously we retain Neil Terry as well. Neil's a teacher in the district, just a dear friend of me, confidant, and his son. He doesn't even know how good his son played today in front of Indiana State. His son's got a chance to be one of the highest recruited players I've ever coached. So, and Neil has to walk that balancing act, has to do the balancing act of being a parent and a coach. And I'm not easy to work for, first of all. Definitely not easy to play for. And so there's times where Neil sees me get on his son, and it's only natural for him as a father to say, "Whoa, what'd you just say?" And there's also times where he sees me get on other kids, and as a coach, sometimes he has to say, "Hey, he got your point," back. So he has a unique perspective, being a father and a coach.
Well, I remember last year when we had you on the show, you literally mentioned that one of the reasons you came here and brought Andrew here was to be coached by somebody that could get the most out of him, right?
Yeah.
That you said, as a dad, I can get a lot out of him, but maybe not as a coach, get all of it out of him.
Right.
Has he grown more?
Yes.
I swear he looked like he was a foot taller the other day when I walked
Everybody in our
past him.
program's growing. Like it's crazy.
He's 6'8.5".
I walked past him and Tice the other day, and I'm like, I'm going to have to get a ladder to shake their hands the next time I see him. I mean, geez, oh, Pete.
So, Sean, I'd love for you to talk to him. Before you do that, I also want to talk about our volunteers and just say a blurb about them.
Okay.
So our head freshman coach is going to be, and he'll probably end up coaching most of our JV games as well, Deuce Rawls, who is a Montgomery County alum. He has and I hope this guy's listening, he has the unfortunate circumstance of being the nephew of Ivan Rawls. Ivan, I'm kidding.
I would never claim that.
But, he played at Transy when he graduated, and he works in the sporting goods industry now for Jam Sports. Just a great family, and it's good to have an alum, really, of our program back coaching our younger kids. Just spent some days with him at a coaching clinic, and I'm excited about him. Helping him is Bill Kilgore. Many people here in our community know Bill is a retired pastor for almost 40 years, maybe over 40 years, at Gateway Christian Church. Just a confidant to so many people in our community and so well respected. His presence in our locker room is just is genuine and appreciated. But to make no mistake about it, we didn't bring him on to be a pastor. Like he's a basketball guy. A lot of people don't realize that he was a really good player at Kentucky Christian University back in the day. And I was on my mower one day last summer, and I said, Bill's retired. He's probably looking for something to do. And I just called him, and it's been a beautiful relationship. He's just so humble, yet he's a learner, student of the game. And it's neat to see him dive into something new at this stage in his life. He has a grandson in our program as well. And then we have another volunteer named Jared Rhodes. Jared's a pharmacist from Nashville. He works in Central Kentucky, and really smart guy, and we pulled him up from MCYB. It was important that I try to pull somebody up from MCYB to have a connection to the league so we can groom our coaches to become better coaches and maybe helping our middle school and high school programs down the road. So I wanted to make sure that we talked about those guys as well. Awesome.
Well, definitely sounds exciting on that part of it. Guys, we'll just jump into it. Michael, welcome to the program. Welcome to Montgomery County. Probably a little bit different than the Lexington scene.
Absolutely.
He gave us a little bit on the background there, but tell us a little bit more about yourself and a little bit about the boxing background there too.
Yeah, man. Just being able to come to Montgomery County via Felix Wilson, sitting around talking, and he said he was leaving. And he said, man, you need to go check out my guy Mays. And he was able to branch that relationship for us. I came down, talked to Mays, and it was very organic. You know, I asked him a question at the end. If he had a superpower, what would it be? And it caught him off guard. And he gave me an honest answer, and I felt like that's what made me want to come here. It was genuine. It came from the heart. And unfortunately, I lost my sister this summer. And we was at a workout, and I just walked in, and I cried on this man's shoulder. And he just held me. And that right there alone made me feel at home and, like, showed that I made the right decision.
Yeah.
So, you know, the pride of Montgomery County being here is unique. The city has a lot of great players and great talent, but this right here, people embrace their players more. So I'm excited to be a part of that, and then just bring all the tools that I have in my toolbox and share it with them, and hopefully that they could take something from there, from what I'm teaching them, and build their toolbox and keep it. And then on the boxing end, I've been blessed. You know, I fought as a young kid, came back full circle. I've been blessed to coach with the Olympic team, still do it to today. I have a couple of good fighters in my own gym, but just being able to work with top-level athletes, whether it be basketball or boxing, these type of experience and dealing with these type of athletes is what's going to help me hopefully build these young Montgomery County players, man. So it's pretty neat.
Well, I mean, there was a spark lit in this community last year during the basketball season that we haven't seen around here in 10-plus years, you know. And the night of regionals, when the arena had way more people in it than it should have, was unlike anything that I have ever witnessed in my life. Seeing that many people there, every single play, thousands of people cheering one way or the other. And, man, there's nothing like the GRC Montgomery County rivalry, and it doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
GRC travels, Moco travels. Me and Daron did the GRC volleyball game a couple weeks ago. They had the whole bottom section on their side full. It was loud, and I'm like, this is a volleyball game. And then we did the soccer game. It was the same way. The football game, the Friday night, there was a lot of people. Now, that Saturday morning when they come back, it wasn't that many people, but there's a lot of people in that stadium, and it's just and it's good, you know. And, you know, Coach, one of the first things when you were on our show back in 2023, before this coaches show thing ever really came to life, you said that GRC and Montgomery County wasn't really a rivalry because they had owned that for a while. Mm-hmm. You win a couple of games, and big games at that, it starts, you know, that blood starts boiling a little bit for, you know, both sides. And I think this year will be exciting again. And I really pray, listening to this, get out and support our teams. It doesn't matter what county you're in or what sport it is. Get out there and support them. Those volleyball games are as loud as the basketball games with half the people there. It is crazy how loud it is in that arena during those games. So
we actually made that comment during the Moco GRC game that it was louder in there during the volleyball game than it was the region championship.
Yeah.
And there was not even a quarter of the people
it was
in there.
crazy.
They were getting crazy.
It was absolutely crazy. So, well, welcome to Montgomery County. Obviously, if you need anything, you let us know. We're excited to have you here and be a part of this. Obviously, you know, you had that little bit of taste, and he has pretty good success rate with churning these coaches, because the first year he lost both of them. One went to Belfry, and the other one is now coaching the girls here in Montgomery County. And then, you know, Felix got his taste. So I'd say if you want the opportunity, he'll get you to where you want to go. That's for sure on that part of it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The players get us to where we want to
Absolutely.
go as coaches.
Well, before we get to Tanner, let's take a quick commercial, say some thanks to our sponsors, and we'll be back.
Special thanks to Brent Wehunt, proud sponsor of our Menifee Athlete of the Month and scholarship programs.
Helping folks see clear behind the wheel. In our hometown, heroes take the field and shine. They're out there cheering every single time. Proud sponsor, heart and soul combined. Montgomery County's got vision on the rise. Yeah. Got a dent or scratch, no need to despair. Jacob's Auto Body, we're beyond compare. Custom paint so sleek, insurance on our side. 70 years of trust, we're your hometown pride. Jacob's Auto Body will make it like new. 859-274-7425 is the clue. Jacob's Auto Body, run the show.
All right, we are back here with Coach Mays and staff. Before we went to commercial there, we were talking to Michael Jones, and now let's take an opportunity. Tanner Glancy. Tanner, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where'd you? Well, we know you come from West Carter. I don't know why I'm asking that question. Anyways, tell us a little bit about yourself. By the way, were you on the team that he beat at
Sports Center?
I had a feeling.
I wasn't. I was coaching it, though.
Yeah.
But no.
It hurt just as bad, right?
Yeah, it was right in front of my face. As a matter of fact, if you look on the newspaper, I'm in the background going. And so, nice memory for me. But no, yeah, I went to West.
Villar's last second shot?
Yeah, it was a charge, by the way. But
Hang
yeah,
on, which last second shot? The one?
the full court one. Porter hit the last
one that
second
made
step
ESPN?
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that one. Just the one that made ESPN.
That's all right.
Oh shoot! But no. Anyways, I'm from Grayson. Went to West Carter. Coached there from the time I was 18 to last year. So I mean, quite some time invested over there. As we just mentioned, some fun battles against Coach Mays. Some really memorable games, whether it was just a regular season or in the region tournament. And he was always someone. Whenever I was coaching against, it was his teams were just so daggone tough, and just so hard to beat. Not a lot of flaws. So whenever I did decide after not being chosen to be brought back there as head coach after taking that interim role last year, I knew I wasn't just going to leave West Carter for anywhere. That community and that program meant so much to me. I couldn't just. It was hard, but the first name that really came to mind, if I'm going to go somewhere, it needs to be somewhere that I think I can grow as not only a coach, but a person too. And I was lucky enough to, I've got some friends over here, Tanton Kaiser and Buddha Brown, and they help on the girls staff. And they were like, hey, this is a good opportunity if you want to look into, going somewhere. Not that they were pushing me, right? Just throwing it out, and got in contact with Coach Mays and met and talked, and went really well. Like Coach Jones was saying, it was pretty effortless, conversation wise, and that made me comfortable. And here I am, very blessed and thankful for the opportunity.
That's awesome. I mean, coming from East Carter, or West Carter, I'm sorry. You got the East and the West. You got the, I'm sure it's one of those county split type things that a lot of these other schools deal with. You don't have that in Montgomery County, right? So you're not battling against other schools in the county. Everybody that's in Montgomery County is playing in Montgomery County, But what's that? what's that like in that being in that county that you have to compete not only with the other team, but like players can choose which side of the county they want to go.
It's
which is like Civil War in that county.
Yeah,
so.
That's exactly right. Speaking from experience, I went to East Carter until right there at the end of the first semester of my freshman year, and then I transferred over to West. So it's a different. That's the main thing I'll miss. I mean, it's a different feeling when you step into that gym, and it really just means so much more when you see that other side of the county's name right on that jersey. You just get fired up, and if you're not, then you don't need to be playing that sport. Yeah. And it was, whether I was playing in it or coaching against it, it was always you circled it on your calendar, right? It was really fun, but that's what so many people took pride in too. Yeah. Those were like, for example, you guys talking about the great region turnout. Those were the games we had our turnout. Was definitely those rivalries, and always something I look forward to. So I will miss that for sure.
Rivalries are great in every sport, but I feel like high school they're just different.
It is.
I mean, we cover Montgomery County, GRC, Bath County, and Menifee County, and Bath and Menifee are as equal of rivalries as GRC and Moco are. They hate each other. They do. And it's and what's fun about it is our podcast sometimes gets in the middle of those rivalries, right? Because they get mad if
hey, why'd you say that about
you got Menifee on the show? The worst part about it is when the Bath County ladies soccer was here one night, and we had to announce that Menifee had beaten them that weekend. Yep. That's rough, whenever you have to, but it's part of it,
Yep.
So, and then, Coach, you're still here. Still got Addie. She's going to be a senior this year, going to state tournament in golf.
Yep.
So that's exciting. And did I hear you say that it's like her 5th time that she's been to state?
Yeah.
So she's familiar with that course down there in Bowling Green.
5 times in Bowling Green.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, and of course, Andrew will be a sophomore this year.
He'll be a sophomore.
And he's grown 12 inches since last year. I
think he's 7'8" now.
I know. And I tell you, he's so tall, it's crazy. So, seeing him and Tice both. All these college visits and stuff like that. It's really cool to be able to see that with the players and stuff. So that's cool. I love those videos and stuff that you do for them and stuff. So
Andrew weighed 181 pounds and was 6'7" on February 27th, the night of the district championship game. I can't remember why we weighed him or measured him that day, but it was. He is 6'8.5", 206.
210. He was.
So he's gained 5 pounds in the last 2 weeks.
What's Mama feeding me?
She feeds him well. Trust me.
Miracle
because our guys love going to dinner at the Terry's house. So Andrew's going to be 6'9", maybe before our first game. Tice is 6'6.5" now. He's almost at 200 pounds. He's like 192. He doesn't need to get too much heavier. But, they're all growing. I mean, Isaiah, Michael, how tall is Isaiah now? 6'5"?
That's 6'5", yeah.
Yeah. Dolph's is 6'4". We got a freshman named J.D. Hayes. I don't know when he's going to stop growing. He's got – I showed my age the other day, Sean. Remember Inspector Gadget?
I do.
Yeah. Remember Go-Go Gadget Arms?
I do.
So our guys, they don't have a clue what these two guys don't have a clue what Go-Go Gadget Arms.
That was not.
I saw the flash.
Wait. Lots of thunder outside the corner-to-corner studios this evening. But I had to pull up Google a picture and a video of Inspector Gadget with Go-Go Gadget telling us Go-Go Gadget Arms, and I said, JD, this is you. He's got almost a 6'9" wingspan. And he's just a freshman. He's 6'6". Now, defense is still Chinese to him, but he'll get that figured out, and he's a great kid, high character kid. So, just my point is they're all growing.
Yeah.
And if they're not growing vertically, they're growing strength-wise. Yeah. And
that extra, is that 40 pounds that he's put on? You said 171?
30.
180. 181 is 210.
I tell you what, that
Sean don't math well.
no, it's here. It don't hear well. That's what it is. Because that extra 30 pounds is going to help him a lot.
Well, we've changed how we're lifting. My workouts were always like 90 miles an hour with your hair on fire. Gas pedal to the floor. Let's try to make this as hard as we can every time. And even when I was doing it, I knew that may not have been the smartest way to work with our kids in the weight room. We never got anybody hurt, and we got stronger, and we got tougher. Michael is bringing a more holistic approach to it for the overall, and a holistic approach to developing an athlete. So our cardio program is back. So when you get old and coach, you sort of lose like, hey, let's go to the track and run for the sake of running. And so he's brought that back in, but it's purposeful. It's like an event. And our guy's like, okay, we're going to go as hard as I can right here, get this over with. But I know that it's Wednesday, I do 200s. I know that it's Monday, I do a mile run. I know that this week I have to shave off X number of seconds from last week. So it's goal-oriented, it's measured, there's metrics to it, there's purpose behind it. And then they've done a lot of unique exercises on the track that don't involve running that I've never
Is that understood. Where the tires and the
hurdles
the sideway jumping over the hurdle?
And the hurdles thing was probably the most exciting thing I saw. I watched the videos as y'all was posting the videos, and I was like, that takes an athlete to do that. From
watching them all do that, I mean, I was like, that looks like that's the hardest thing on this planet that could be done.
Well, I mean, Coach, why does that work? Like, why is that better than what I have done in the past?
Well, we bring in the ability to be very mobile, open up our hips, which is what's needed for basketball. It makes you more explosive. Not only the hurdles, even when I get in there and we just push each other around to see where you mentally at, just at the shoulders like your offensive lineman. These guys are just pushing each other, just want to see how much grit you have. So when we go from the track to the field to the hill, to the weight room, to the floor, we want to know, who are you? Do you have what it takes when it's 30 seconds to go in the game? We're down 5 against GRC. Can I rely on you? Are you going to quit? Are you going to be able to build or hold yourself accountable for your teammates? So that's where we bring that into, and then the hurdles are unforgiving. If you never jump over a hurdle and you miss,
it's going to hurt.
You're bleeding.
It's going to hurt. So you got to get through it.
Yeah.
You got to dig deep.
How many were y'all lining up? Because the video just showed
14 to 15 hurdles.
So 14 to 15, and you're putting them, 2 or 3 feet apart?
About 2 or 3 feet apart. Mm-hmm. And we're just exploding. And you can't stop. It's like if you stop, you're going to hit that hurdle.
Yeah.
And we're all men here. That's unforgiving down in them parts down there, ain't it? So we got to get over that hurdle. We got to get over that hurdle, don't we? So that's why we do it. And whatever you don't think is in you, it's going to be inside you. This is all mental.
Yeah. And, the flip side to that is you're building a deeper teamwork and camaraderie with those guys, too, because everybody's like, they want to see everybody succeed. Nobody wants to see anybody fall, it's a deeper mental part of it as much as it is strength.
If somebody fails, everybody rallies around each other and say, hey, you got this. Yeah. Nobody's mad. It's like, come on, man, you got this. Yeah. So they don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool, and I was like, wow, this is different.
Well, and you have to. I mean, I'm guilty of putting it on social media to help enhance our brand of a program, help enhance the positivity of our school district's brand, our high school's brand, from an athletic component. But because it gets clicks, and that's part of it. As a head coach nowadays, you better be the CBO, Chief Brand Officer, as well. But at the end of the day, it's hard work, and this is one of the hardest working teams that I've coached as a high school coach. Maybe the hardest working because we've thrown a lot at them. I've thrown more at them than I've thrown at any other team. And right now, it's not mandatory.
Right.
You know, the KHSA bylaws, our activities aren't mandatory. I mean, we don't have guys missing. I mean, their families are committed, the parents are committed, the kids are committed. I mean, we're going to go home, sleep a few hours, and we're back at it at 6:45 in the morning. You know, so
they got to taste what Rupp Arena was like last year. And you know what? In order to get back, we got to get better, right?
Well, that's sort of the conversation we had with Neil was at the golf course with his daughter, and but that's sort of the conversation we had with our guys today, particularly Andrew and Tice. And you know, I wanted to make sure that entitlement, aka the disease of me, doesn't sneak in on us. Because the best opportunities in our lives are also our greatest responsibilities. And so you got kids in our program that are being recruited at a very high level right now. We got coaches coming in just about every day. And they're young, they're teenagers. Well, they don't know how to compartmentalize this. I mean, they have good parents that will, I mean, Neil's going to make sure Andrew stays humble, okay? But he's still a teenager.
Right.
You know, and there's still this thing called TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I mean, take your pick, okay? And recruiting is largely based on that. And so we have to make sure that we stay humble and that we're not entitled, but also give our guys opportunity to get exposure. And there's a balancing act in doing that, yet also working hard, being boring, being mundane, and just doing hard things well, you know. And so it's sometimes we get it right. Sometimes we err on one side of maybe being too boring and too hard, and maybe err on the side of being too brand-oriented. But I think at the end it all balances out.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. That's for sure. And I mean, that's the world we're in now, right? I mean, we drive. Our whole podcast is driven by social media. Without social media, this podcast doesn't exist. I mean, because there's no way for us to get it out there. And you know, we've been pushing all of the kids that you know, try to get them to follow us on X so we can be a driver for them on X, because you know, with the new communication stuff and all that things, we're not hindered to that. You know, we tell a lot of coaches, use us, let us help you. You know, if you need something from us, use us. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And Adam and Wes do a great job on all the social stuff. That's not my thing. I can flip through it, but I'm not good at writing Facebook posts. I don't do that stuff, so that's not what my gig is. My gig is to drive this ship.
Well, that's why we
let them do the social media stuff.
That's why we needed to evolve our staff.
Yeah.
Is Michael can handle aspects of certain players better than Tanner can, and Tanner can handle aspects with certain players better than Michael can, and Neil can handle some things better than I can, so that I've got to give up things in order for our kids to be more. We're at the point now where we don't need to invest in our kids from a breadth standpoint, but more a depth standpoint.
Yeah.
And we got more kids. We're going to have almost 30 kids in our program now. And so doing that takes a lot of work. And so we had to bring more talent, more people that care for kids and that want to invest in those deep, long-standing relationships with them. Sometimes that involves tough love. Sometimes that involves soft love. And it almost always involves, putting an arm around their neck and hugging them, So I'm excited about the staff. I'm excited about our team. Are we the best team in the 10th region? Our kids will say so, but I don't know if we are. We're going to have to just outwork people this year. We got Kai Mahorn, who's going to be really good. But Kai tore his ACL at the end of June, had surgery July 15th. And So we're having Austin Hatton and Noah Rout and Maddox Stevens are all, going to come in and compete for point guard minutes. And 2 of those kids are freshmen. And Hat's a junior who doesn't have a lot of varsity experience. But Hat's also one of our most improved players this summer. So
and I saw him jumping them hurdles, and I was like, man, Austin out there nailing them things too.
So I'm really proud of Austin.
Yeah.
And just the toughness that he has, and so we got to be patient with him. We can't expect perfection. We just have to expect progress. But man, I tell you what, he's going to give us everything he has.
Yep.
So.
Yep. You can see that just in the minutes that he did play last year. So, for sure on that part of it. So, you talked about the depth of the program. Let's talk about MCYB there for a second. Then,
Sure.
Before you do that, how about we pay some bills?
Oh, is it
already? Got to pay some bills.
We just running through all that stuff. Okay. Yeah. We'll take a quick commercial. We'll be right back.
Special thanks to Brent Wehunt, proud sponsor of our Menifee Athlete of the Month and scholarship programs.
If you're driving by and see that light, stop on in, get your colors right. It's more than gear, it's your story design. At Incoviv Designs, every thread's a sign.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to have the driveway shoveled. His part of the big lunch meeting and the birthday gift for the niece that was due yesterday. That means Anthony made it on time to watch the big game and see the home team score the winning shot. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
Spring is here. Are you sure your roof is ready for the rain? Winter weather can leave behind hidden damage like loose shingles, cracked flashing, and clogged gutters, all of which can lead to costly leaks. At CRC Roofing and Renovations, we provide expert spring roof maintenance, leak prevention, and repairs to keep your home safe and dry. Don't wait until water damage ruins your home. Call CRC Roofing and Renovations today at 859-327-3913 or visit our website to schedule your free spring roof inspection. Protect your home with Central Kentucky's trusted roofing experts.
I still can't believe she's gone. I don't know how we're going to plan all of this.
I know. I felt the same way when your granddad passed. The Kaufman Funeral Home really helped us get through it.
Were they compassionate?
More than that, they took care of us. They made us feel like family. They handled the entire situation from beginning to end.
At Kaufman Funeral Home and Crematorium in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, we're honored to walk beside your family with dignity and compassion every step of the way.
That's exactly what we need right now.
Kaufman Funeral Home, where we believe every life is a beautiful story that deserves to be honored with love, dignity, and heartfelt celebration.
Because I get too emotional. And speaking of emotional, we're back. So right before commercial there, we was talking about MCYB.
Montgomery County Youth Basketball.
Right the first time.
Yep. One of your crew members here is Adam Muncy. So if anybody ever wants to come out and see Adam Muncy get out coached by pretty much everybody, they can just, Surely he's listening, right?
Oh, I'm sure he is. If not, he'll listen to it.
On a serious note, what a great person he is to have in our community. Yeah. I mean, he volunteers for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he's such a good dude.
He knows more people in this community than Sean and I do, and we're from Kentucky. He's from West Virginia.
Yeah.
And come here, but he knows anybody and everybody and who's connected to.
And all that he does, like he's made the comment to us before that all his life he's dreamed to be a father and coach his boys playing sports.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. I mean, Max is a football stud. I mean, he absolutely loves playing football, and they both love playing basketball. And he travels all over the place coaching them, and that's what he loves to do. So, once July rolls around, we don't see him on too many episodes here until, football season's over with. But he's doing what he loves to do.
Well, he's one of our great board members for MCYB. Again, Montgomery County Youth Basketball. Our executive director is James Willoughby, who is another guy that donates a lot of his time and talent to the youth of our community. And our league's only as good as those people are committed, and so we're fortunate. So this is going to be year 3. Registration is open. It's at MocoTribeHoops.com. Again, that's MocoTribeHoops.com. You just go to the main menu, click register, and there's 2 items you can register for there right now. One of them is our golf tournament, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But one of them, the first one is MCYB. And when you register, you want to register based on the school and the grade that your child is in this year. So if your child is a 4th grader at Camargo, you'll register, and as a boy, you'll register them for boys 4th, 5th grade Camargo. And they'll be on the Camargo 4th, 5th grade team, maybe one of the teams if there's more than one. If it's a co-ed league, so the only division that is co-ed teams is our K1 division. The 2nd, 3rd division has a separate girls league and a separate boys league. The 4-5 division, 4th and 5th grade division has a separate girls league and a separate boys league. So all these elementary schools have girls teams and boys teams. And then this year, what's new is we are registering to have a girls 6th, 8th league and a boys 6th, 8th league. A few details on that, if I may. Because the middle school season is different for boys and girls calendar-wise, if you played for McNabb or are playing for McNabb and still want to play for the girls 6th through 8th league, you can, because your McNabb season will be over with. So as long as Coach Perry and his staff don't pull you up to play for MCHS, one of the freshman JV or varsity teams, when your middle school season is over with, you can still play in the girls division for MCYB. However, if you are playing for McNabb, either the 6th, 7th, or 8th grade teams, you will not be able to play MCYB because they run concurrently.
On the boys' side?
Yes. However, there's going to be probably 60 kids try out for McNabb this year. So we wanted to give kids that don't make the team still a place to receive instruction and development and be able to play competitive basketball. And so that's new. We're still checking our registrations. I think we're going to have enough to have several teams in each division. So we're excited about that. Registration closes October 4th. We're going to open a late registration
for those.
Not
long from now.
No, we're already at 100 registrants already. So we're going to have a late registration posted for a few days after middle school tryouts for the boys. For those who didn't make it, they can still have that. Then they'll have a window to register. And so it's going to get ready. I mean, we're going to start practicing late October. Games will start in November, and we're going to go all the way through mid-January this year. It's just so cool because it's all school-based.
A little bit longer season than this year.
Yeah, because it's grown, but we're doing some things differently. We're not going to play games on the weekend unless we have to due to snow rescheduling. We're just going to play one game during the week, and they're going to practice a lot more, which whether they realize it or not, it's important.
Right.
That way, we're also going to have some kids come back into the league that left last year that went and played travel ball. Well, they can still play in the league and practice with their teams during the week, and then go play travel tournaments on the weekends.
Right.
So, we're evolving, and last year we had 300 kids. We'll have that again this year.
Just year 3.
Yeah.
So every year you learn something a little bit different that's going to work a little bit better. And I still remember when I was in those age groups, the school versus school rivalries was. I mean, it was big. I'm from Grayson County. Everybody hated Caneyville because they had the big kids, So when you traveled to Caneyville, It was a dogfight there. I mean, it really was. And I remember those. I remember those memories, and building those Camargo Northview rivalries or Mapleton, Mount Sterling Elementary type of rivalries will be great, because once these kids get to the point that they get to the middle school level, then they get to play together in situations where they played against each other, and it just builds the future of the program across the board.
Everybody wants to have homegrown kids representing your hometown team on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Well, it's 2025. It's not that simple anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, the KHSA just changed bylaws regarding transfers last week.
Yeah.
But I want that too. Okay, I do. There's something about Dawson Gentry. He's only wore blue and white his whole life. There's something special about it. Austin Hatton, Isaiah Rowlett, there's something special about that. It's not necessarily better. It's just special.
Right.
Okay. This is how that's done. You have to start with the grassroots, and you have to be patient as you grow it and evolve it. And that's why our camps always have over 100 kids. That's why Jordan's camps are well attended. We have our July Summer League, which had 70 kids in it. It's a lot of work. Like, I can't wait for these guys call home and say, hey, I'm running 30 minutes late because I had to go open Mapleton's gym for a bunch of kindergartners. It's just what it takes.
Yeah.
So we're excited about it. It'll be better this year than it has been, and next year will be better than this year. But
well, you mentioned something about the one change that they made with the transfer stuff. We won't worry about that part of it. Let's talk about the shot clock thing.
Sure.
Wes and Adam will get mad at me if I don't bring that up. What's your thought on the shot clock being voted in?
Well, so I have a website. It started as a blog. It's called aftertimeout.com, and it's grown into a business of sorts that allows me to go speak and allows me to do some consulting for coaches. Who knows where it goes, but it's sort of a entrepreneurial. Speaking of being an entrepreneur, it's allowing me to have an end game to my teaching career, so to speak. And so I'm going to be. Reason I bring that up is I'm going to be posting an article. I'm working on it as we speak about the shot clock in high school basketball. Not really about just in Kentucky, but just in general. The pros and cons. I have been very well read on it. I am an advocate for it.
So this can be a teaser.
Yeah.
So this is just a little teaser. When you want to know all about what his thoughts are,
I'll post it on social media. But I mean, it'll be a good place to drive traffic to the website.
Yeah.
But it's going to be in depth. That's why I took the weekend. I'm still not done with it. And here's why it's good. Okay, the number one reason it's good is our basketball game is a trickle down game. So college gets stripped on by the NBA. High school gets stripped on by college. Middle school gets stripped on, and youth basketball gets stripped on by high school. Now, it's become a little complicated over the years with prep schools and postgraduate programs and overtime elite and those different variations, but the truth is it still is a trickle-down effect, our game is. And so the NBA had shot clock years ago. College went to shot clock in the 80s, okay? It even has morphed since it's changed the duration since it was its inception in the 80s. Well, here's high school. One of the aspects of our game that we have not followed suit on is a shot clock. Why? Well, we want to be fair and equitable for all levels of scholastic sports. Well, everywhere in life, whether it's in sports, whether it's in business, whether it's in broadcasting, podcasting, radio, healthcare, it doesn't matter. Fair is not always equal.
Right.
Okay? So fair and equitable is a bad argument to use with me because that's not how life works. let's make our high school game marketable for players. Why have we lost so many talented players in Kentucky alone to prep schools in the last 18 months? Because they're going to more college-based atmospheres. That's a fact.
Yeah.
You can't argue. They are going to prep schools because they think that they're going to get better college exposure by playing a more college-ready game. Well, then you come back and you say, well, what about the kids that aren't going to play college? Guess what? The kids that don't want to play college ball or aren't good enough to play college ball, they want you to coach them like they are good enough to play college ball. And so do their parents.
Right.
So another reason to have it more of a competitive atmosphere. Now, when you get down to the schematics of it, the X's and O's of it, we haven't actually talked about this as a staff, so they may disagree with me. I can't tell you the last time we've had a possession that would have been a violation of a shot clock. I mean, Neil? No. I mean, we're trying to score in the first 7 seconds of a possession.
No. Yeah.
You know, so
especially the Caden running around.
It's not going to. But see, here's where it's going to impact coaches that are used to that say, okay, in order for me to compete in this game, I think I have to limit the number of possessions, and I've got to run a continuity offense. Okay, Tanner's been part of that in his coaching past. Okay. Well, all you have to do is run your same continuity, but have a more organized PAP or PAP, play after the play. So when it doesn't break down or you don't get a scoring look, now what are you going to? Because you're going to have a shot clock violation, and you got to get a shot at the rim. Okay. It's also going to facilitate better offensive rebounding, to steal possessions. It's also going to force coaches to think about what are they doing in short clock periods where it's not out of bounds, it's not a dead ball situation. Oh, I got 5 seconds on the shot clock. What am I doing? Are you ghosting ball screens? Are you setting ball screens? Are you doing DHO? Are you rolling? Are you popping? You know, are we spreading out and we're driving to the rim, putting a call in the referee's hands? You got to think about those things, which we already do, but it's going to force coaches that haven't been playing that way to think about those things. So I just think bottom line is it mimics the college game more, and I think it's going to be good for the talent in our state. And if you're not, we're behind on this. Okay.
And still, it's 2 more years away, right?
Yeah. So that's probably fair, because there's a cost associated with it. So then there's installation, and then there's more stress on your is your clock system a wired system or a wireless system? Does your broadband, can it handle all that? Do you have to put in new IT for that? There's little details of this from an IT standpoint, from a cost standpoint, from a maintenance planning standpoint. And then you got places like us, so we're going to have to buy 2 sets. We have the gateway. We're going to have real games in the barn. Do we got to put them in the barn too? Right. You know? So there's several things. So, schools need 2 years to plan for it. And then I think next season, I think you'll see a lot of tournaments, and I'm going to advocate for us have either the Joe B. and Denny games or the Gateway or both to use a shot clock. So I'm going to ask our admin team to purchase it in advance, and then let's have some tournaments where we play by the shot clock, and let's get not only our guys but the teams that we're playing used to it as well. So I think it's a good thing. Am I excited about it? I'm relieved that it's finally coming. Yeah. It's needed to be here for a while.
It's been a hot topic item for several years, that's for sure. And the announcement on social media, you could see how hot of a topic it was, because it was about a 50-50 split of going, the pros and the cons. But I'm like you. I think the game itself will be a little more exciting. Probably going to see some higher scores out there. Mm-hmm. You're going to see players be able to accentuate their talents more. I get it.
Yeah. One of the things that you didn't mention that I've seen a lot of the negative comments were that you now have another person sitting at the table. Yeah. You have another operator. So it's not just hardware and software. It's volunteers to run those clocks.
That's a great point. And so here's what I think needs to be sort of force-fed. If your officials association, the KHSA, the NFHS, they say, Mr. A.D. Jones, you have to hire now 4 officials for your high school games. You're going to pay your 3 on-the-floor officials X, and you're going to pay your shot clock operator Y. That's just the way it is. Be mad at me if you want. You got 2 years to plan for it. See you later. Boom, problem solved. And guess what? The official shortage that we have in our country right now isn't really going to be a part of that, because you could get people operating a shot clock that never officiate a game up and down the floor, baseline to baseline.
Right.
But love the game, understand the game, train specifically for that, and they're just part of an officiating association, but as a shot clock operator. Was it going to cost you? Yeah, okay, so let's say it costs us $75 for that person to operate the shot clock. Let's say you have 15 home games. I mean, do the math on that. It's not going to break the bank.
Right.
All right, multiply it by 2 with your women's program. Still not going to break the bank.
Right.
It's change.
Well,
so it takes time to adapt.
Your other avenue is your officials that just, they've been an official for 30
Retired,
years.
yeah.
And their knees, their body can't let them run up and down the court anymore, so that gives them something to do. So you have somebody that has that legacy of knowledge of the game.
Or you get a young person that wants to officiate, and part of their grooming is all right, here we're going to put you on a varsity contest, but you're going to be a shot clock operator. Well, because they get experience operating a shot clock, when they become a varsity official, they can understand how that process works better. So, there's all kinds of different ways of looking at this. I think, obviously you're going to have to pay them, and you need to train them. The other thing is we could just find somebody here locally, or 2 or 3 people, and just train them and just give them practice. But just because it's different and it's new doesn't mean that it's not doable.
Before we take our last break, the question Sean hadn't asked yet that we got texted in is,
sure,
what does CCC stand for?
Is that on there?
Yeah, that's right front and center.
It's my first year here. Our mission statement of our program is confidence, composure, and class. And I don't know. I just told my Nike rep, I said, hey, I want something with CCC on it, and this is what I got 2 years ago. So it was raining, so I just threw it on. But confidence to obtain what you set out for in life, composure that adversity is going to strike, so it shouldn't derail your desire to succeed. It should intensify your desire to succeed. In class, no one's going to remember the thing that happened. They're always going to remember how you reacted to the thing that happened. And so we beat that into our guys' heads. But that's just 3 letters of our mission statement as a program.
I like it. I wondered myself. I wasn't going to ask, though. Taryn, what I'm supposed to ask you about your fantasy football team? Are you having a bad season?
Muncy?
Yeah.
Well, I was doing pretty good until C.D. Lamb went out on me yesterday, so I'm not happy about that. But if I can't even remember my quarterback in that league, maybe Jared Goff. If Goff goes for like 40 tonight, then I'll win. But
you're in more than one league?
Oh, I've got like 8. It's bad. It's an issue.
I've got 3, but that's too many.
It's an issue.
So, all right, well, let's take a quick commercial. We'll come back and got a little bit of business to wrap up with.
When you can't fit the car in the garage anymore, or the guest bedroom is overrun with junk, it's time for a Rumpke open-top dumpster. Rumpke offers open-top dumpsters in a variety of sizes and are often delivered the next day. You fill the container with unwanted material on your schedule, and Rumpke takes care of the rest. Don't wait to reclaim your space. Contact the waste and recycling experts at Rumpke today. Rumpke, waste and recycling, done right.
Got a dent or scratch, no need to despair. Jacob's Auto Body, we're beyond compare. Custom paint, so sleek, insurance on our side. 70 years of trust, we're your hometown pride. Jacob's Auto Body will make it like new. 859-274-7425 is the clue. Jacob's Auto Body, run the show. helping folks see clear behind the wheel. When our hometown heroes take the field and shine, they're right there cheering every single time. Proud sponsor, heart and soul combined. Montgomery County's got vision on the rise. Yeah.
All right, so a couple of last things for you before we get to our athlete of the week stuff and stuff like that. We did mention the golf, or you mentioned the golf tournament. That's October 25th.
Yeah.
Starts what time?
So
9 a.m.
go to MocoTribeHoops.com. Tanner, take that. Shotgun starts at 9.
Yep.
It's at Irish Hills.
$350 a foursome.
$350 a foursome.
So we had this scheduled a few months ago, and it rained us out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this
Yep.
is the rescheduled date.
Yep.
So I know it's a late date for a golf scramble. I just played for the first time in 14 years Saturday in our baseball team scramble with my son. Had a good time. I'm sore still from it, but
I haven't played in 3 years, so I can imagine 14.
you know, we're just asking people. I mean, Coach Terry and Coach Glancy, they've got. Is it a $10,000 hole in one?
$10,000 hole in one. Yeah.
We've got goodie bags already with tees and divot
Repair tools.
and ball markers with our logos on it. We're gonna have logo balls. We
Cowboy
got
umbrellas
to give away. We got Nike. We got 8 Nike pullovers to give away. I mean, we've spent well over $1,000 in prices.
Yeah, and we're working on some other prizes too, potentially. Main thing is just about, supporting the program, just coming out and having a good time. So looking forward to it. Got some good food afterwards, right, Coach?
Yeah. So Kathy's going to cater.
ESPN, they used to do those, or I guess they probably still do them on the Jim Valvano things. You get to guest host on ESPN or something.
That's
Maybe we
cool.
can give away a guest host spot on the podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
If somebody wins that, they get to come sit
well,
on
that
the
leads us to our next event. That's actually a good idea. I'm going to hold you accountable for that. On Saturday, November 8th, we have the Legacy Dinner and Silent Auction, which is going to be also at Irish Hills. And we're going to start selling tickets for that here soon. We're going to honor a person of Montgomery County High School heritage and tradition, maybe 2. And we're going to honor that person or persons that evening with a nice dinner, a catered meal by Kathy in her restaurant. Kathy's at Irish Hills. And we're going to have a silent auction as part of that evening. That's going to be November 8th. It's going to be in the enclosed yet outdoor pavilion there next to the Irish Hills, Kathy's restaurant. So we're excited about that. It's the first time we've done that. It's something we want to make an annual event. Please just consider supporting our program in these 2 upcoming events. Whether if you don't golf, you can be a whole sponsor for $100. You can register to do that on our website as well. Again, MocoTribeHoops.com. The Legacy Dinner we'll sell tickets to that on the website as well here starting soon. And then we'll also be soliciting donations for the silent auction. And so, it's part of the nature of being a public school program is you have to raise money.
Yep.
And we do a lot here, so we have to raise a lot of money. And I don't apologize for that. It just takes a lot of work. But I think we're in a community that likes a winner. And so far, everybody has been happy to help us. So just put those on your radar.
Awesome, for sure on that part of it.
Season tickets too.
Yeah, season tickets
So
on sale.
So our Booster Club president is Tanya Witt, a very well-known person here in our community, very hardworking, and she's already sold more season tickets now than we did last year. So people, the energy is there for people to buy season tickets. If you have a desire to purchase season tickets and you didn't own season tickets last year or reserve seats,
You better get them if you want to sit in the lowered section
if you want to sit in the red chairbacks, you better get them here soon.
Otherwise, you're going to be sitting upstairs with us.
Yeah. Well, so you can message. You can email me at Coach Mays at aftertimeout.com, or you can just message us on the Montgomery County Boys Basketball Facebook page and just say, hey, I'm interested in season tickets, and we'll have somebody reach out to you. We've been selling those for a month already. We started really early this year, and we've already sold more than we sold last year. It's not even October 1st.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely awesome. Well, I mean, it's always fun to have you on here, Coach. So.
Well, I just wanted to let the community meet our staff through your program.
Yeah.
Really high character people, really talented basketball coaches. We've got 3 assistant coaches that would be considered for probably 90% of the head coaching positions in this state if they were open. So very fortunate, very blessed, and the people who get to benefit from it are our kids, our players.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited for that part of it for sure. All right, so let's take care of a little bit of business. Let's start off with our Athlete of the Week from last week. Our Simply Secured Athlete of the Week from last week is Mr. Trey Davis from GRC. He had 3 touchdowns last week in their football game victory.
I'll have a picture of him.
Gotcha. Never got that. Okay. All right. All right. And then our Mays Law Office's People Champ this week is Triton Ambergy and Bryson Beasley from Montgomery County. That was another close voting this week between them and GRC. Over almost 1,000 votes on that post this week. So that was awesome.
Yeah, shout out to everybody voting on that. We've had
absolutely.
2 of the biggest weeks we've had.
We're getting some traction on that now. This week's Rumpke's Dog of the Week is going to Alexis White. And me and Daron made the call on that. We watched her play against Paris the other night, and she's always a beast on the offensive side, but she really made a defensive effort the other night and helped the Tribe beat Paris. She made some phenomenal defensive plays on the back half of the court. So
we've said it numerous times. It takes somebody with some grit to stand in front of one of her shots.
Absolutely.
When she cocks back, because it's coming hard.
Yeah, absolutely. So Alexis is this week's Rumpke Dog of the Week. And then this week's EJ's Appliances Cool Athlete or Play of the Week is this. That is Colton Kinney going in for the score there and the goal. Colton has had a good season so far for the Indians there. Kinney. So that is this week's EJ's Appliances Cool Play of the Week. So awesome job there for everybody. And then this week's Simply Secured Athlete of the Week nominees from Montgomery County. On the volleyball court, Kate Kahn. Kate, in 2 games this week, had 82 assists, 24 digs, 5 kills, and 7 aces. On the from GRC on the soccer field, Coda Palmer, 3 goals and 1 assist in their game. Menifee County from the volleyball court, Candace Farrell had 13 kills, 13 assists, 10 digs, and 3 aces in 1 game. And then from Bath County Cross Country, Trinity Blankenship, she won the cross country tournament they were in the other day. So graphic has been made. It'll be dropped Wednesday morning, and we'll kick off the voting for the Mays Law Office's People's Champ Award. And then, of course, one of those will be our Simply Secured Athlete of the Week next week. So what's on tap for us this week? We'll be at Montgomery County Friday night as they host the Breathitt County team on the football field. It'll be here in Montgomery County. Bobcats. Breathitt County Bobcats. There you go. Should be a tough game there. Breath County's played pretty well. And then Saturday, for volleyball, we will be calling the Dink Scott Invitational, and you will get to hear us call at least 5 volleyball games that day. So
daylight till dusk.
Yeah. So it starts at 9 a.m. It's going to be a nice long day there. Montgomery County, every team is guaranteed 5 games. And it's like one right after another. So
they're in the barn and the arena.
Yeah, so
we will be in the arena, but they have games in both.
There's 2 different groups, and
2 pools.
There's 6 teams in each pool. I can't remember how many teams there is. I don't know. There's a bunch.
Sean, Dink Scott was a former Tribe basketball player.
Had no clue who that guy was. I assumed he was.
He's on our all-time leading scoreboard.
All right, there you go. I'm still learning these people. All right, so games this week. Montgomery County, we mentioned Breathitt County on the football side. Volleyball, they got a home game against Fleming County prior to the Dink Scott. Girls soccer and GRC were supposed to play tonight. I doubt that they played with all this weather, so that'll probably get rescheduled. And then boys soccer, Lexington Catholic this week. Menifee County volleyball at Morgan County. Girls soccer will be home versus Johnson Central, and then the boys soccer home versus Rowan County. GRC football home versus West Jessamine. Volleyball at Lexington Catholic, that ought to be a good one. Then we said girls soccer versus Moco, and then boys soccer home versus Western Hills. And then for Bath County, home game versus Lewis County. Volleyball versus Frankfort Christian. Girls soccer home game versus Ironton, Ohio, and then boys soccer Jackson City. And then next week's guest, speaking of soccer, we have Menifee County girls soccer coach Sarah Franklin coming. I'm sure she'll have a few players with her as well. Our Drive for 5 on Facebook, we have cracked the 4,800 mark, so getting pretty close to that 5,000. As soon as we get there, we're going to start asking for 10,000. And then X as well. We're trying to grow that as well. So if you haven't followed us on Twitter/X, follow us there as well as Facebook. You can't go out and invite your friends on Twitter like you can on Facebook. So it makes it a little harder to grow that brand there. So, but guys, again, thanks for coming spending some time with us on this rainy Monday night. We even got to...
Sean, just as an update, we're at 48-19. So we're under 200 away from...
It's went up 6 since we started, so that's good.
There you go.
Again, just congratulations to our women's golf team. And our boys golf team is in the regional tournament tomorrow.
They got a lot of confidence riding with them. So that'll be awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this week's From Corner to Corner podcast. Be sure to help us spread the word on our podcast, our Athlete of the Week and Month programs. We love shining a light on all of them. At the end of the day, it's all about our communities, our teams, our coaches, and especially our students. They all deserve it. We'll catch you guys next week. And a big thanks and a shout out to Community Trust Bank for sponsoring the show. See you soon.
The From Corner to Corner podcast wants to send a huge thank you to all our amazing sponsors who help keep this show rolling each week. Your support lets us keep covering local sports, sharing stories, and building community together. We truly couldn't do it without you. Thank you for believing in us, and let's keep making an impact together.
The Moco Four Horsemen would like to thank you for listening to From Corner to Corner. Be sure to go out and follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube. Whatever podcast platform that you listen to us on, be sure to go out and give us a 5-star review. Thanks as always, and we look forward to seeing you next week.